Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. And if you're a new viewer, welcome to Pie in the Sky Tours. My channel aims to bring you quality setups, tutorials, tips and more. So do check out my other videos. And please do like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, as it helps others find my channel too. In today's video, I'll be discussing my top 5 aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. My intention is to showcase these impressive products and briefly tell you about each aircraft, and maybe you'll spot one you haven't yet tried. These are presented in no particular order, and I bought them all myself, so I've not been paid to promote any of them in this video. I hope this helps give you an overview of each aircraft and provide some entertainment too. And remember guys, this is just my opinion, and there are plenty of aircraft I've not included that I also like, so let me know if you want to see more videos about them too. I do want to mention that I'm a massive VFR fan, and taking in the sights of this amazing planet is my top priority. I'm absolutely loving the sim and what it has to offer, and these planes do add to that immersion and realism we're all looking for. And I'll leave some links for each plane so you can check them out yourself on the internet. I almost exclusively fly in VR, and these aircraft all work really well and offer good views and realistic textures. However, some of them could be better catered towards VR in terms of knobs and buttons working. I also want to say that I absolutely love a range of aircraft that come with the premium edition of the sim, which include the King Air, TBM 930, Icon A5 and A320. So I might do a video about them at some point too, if that's of interest. And do let us know your favourite aircraft in the simulator. I'll be really interested to hear what you guys like, and maybe it'll give me some ideas too. So the first plane on the list is the PA-44 Seminole by Carenado. This light aircraft twin-engine trainer exceeds expectations with its reliability and durability. The Seminole is one of the tamest, friendliest light twins ever built, making it very appropriate for learning to fly twins. The aircraft is a twin engine, 4 seats with 360 horsepower, 180 horsepower for each engine, and a cruise speed of 160 knots, and a maximum range of 915 nautical miles. I have to applaud Carenado for making a superb looking representation of the PA-44 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. From nearly every angle, the PA-44 is superbly modelled and textured. Both the interior and exterior look visually stunning. The gauges are detailed and hold up under close inspection. They are also easily read while flying in VR. There are lots of little details in the cockpit too, from the scratch marks to the sun visors, which when folded down reveal a fuel and power chart for the aircraft's engines, as well as takeoff and landing checklists. Another area where this aircraft nails it is in the sounds that Carenado have included. Effects from the engines roaring and gears going up to take off sound so accurate and just add to the experience of flying this fine aircraft. Carenado's PA-44 is a very stable and easy aircraft to fly, which feels very controllable and rarely leads to any stalling or panicking. Stalls in the PA-44 are easily manageable, and one engine off stalls will quickly result in the aircraft tumbling left or right depending on the engine that's out. It's easily recovered with a small amount of altitude loss, so no need to stress too much. Flying the PA-44 under normal flight circumstances is easy. Although equipped with an autopilot, in good conditions, this aircraft can be easily hand-flown on its own. Carenado has a tablet system on hand which offers some nice extras. You can open the doors and windows and add an external power supply unit, to name a few. You can also set the status of your aircraft, such as ready for taxi, ready for takeoff, or cold and dark. It's fast enough to be a good touring aircraft, and agile enough that you can easily circle around and check out landmarks before moving on if you want. You will need to be careful in mountainous regions, as the icing can have an effect on the handling, which I've learnt the hard way. Overall, Carenado's PA-44 is an excellent purchase if you're looking for something highly controllable, easy to fly, and accurately modelled. The Carenado PA-44 is priced at €26 or $30 and is available in the Microsoft Flight Simulator marketplace. The next aircraft on the list is the EMB 110 Bandeirante by NextGen Simulations. This is a low-wing, twin turboprop, light transport aircraft that was manufactured by Brazil's Embraer Aviation Company from 1968 to 1990. The Bandeirante, which is Portuguese for pioneer, has seen both civil and military use over the years by companies and governments across the globe. The versatile EMB 110 has performed a wide variety of roles, including regional airliner, cargo hauler, troop transport, and surveillance, among others. This is an absolute beast of an aircraft and is perfect for my flights across the Andes. You may have seen me flying this quite a lot in various other videos, so those of you who follow me will know that I'm a massive fan of this plane. This product features professional yet simplified systems programming, which features the Garmin GPS and avionics. You get 3 accurately modelled variants of the EMB 110, high quality PBR ready textures are used, and native rain and frosting effects, as well as scratching details in the windshield windows are all evident, which adds an authentic feel to the structure of the aircraft. There is also a ramp manager, or EFB, with the possibility to animate doors and take control of ground handling equipment. Fully modernised avionics for better modern flight operations are part of the build, which also includes an easy-to-use autopilot system. I must say the weakness of the aircraft is the sound. Although it's been updated quite recently, it still doesn't seem to capture that natural sound of the droning engines, which are quite annoying in real life too. The RPM changes are not accurately reflected by the instruments, for example, but again, I can overlook this since I just love the flight model. It's the perfect size and complexity without being too big or too complex. In terms of actually flying this aircraft, you need to make sure you give enough time to manoeuvre and avoid any hazardous terrain in good time, as it requires a lot of force to change altitude or direction with such a beast of a plane. I highly recommend this if you're looking for something you can fly over mountains and stay out of harm's way, and which also has a good flight model and good textures. More operational knobs and buttons in VR would make this even better for VR users, but as it is, it's still one of my favourite aircrafts in the sim. The EMB 110 Bandeirante is priced at €30 or about $35 and is available from Just Flight or on the in-game marketplace. The Aermacchi MB339 jet, developed by IndiaFoxtEcho, is one of the first third-party military jets for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. In real life, the Aermacchi MB339 is a military jet trainer that took its maiden flight in 1976. Currently around 230 models have been produced, and half of them are still active in the Italian Air Force today. The Aermacchi MB339 is the only jet I've included in my top 5 list, and it's a treat to fly, especially in VR. From inside the cockpit, the view is incredible. Aside from the ring that is used in real life for opening the canopy, and the gun sight which you can turn off, your entire field of view is just glass, which means you can see all around you. The cockpit instruments are very comprehensive, and the flight director is easy to use if you know how. However, keep in mind, this jet was first manufactured around the 1980s, and thus doesn't have the fancy digital screens for navigating unlike the 787, which might be a downside if you're more of a casual simmer. It also doesn't come with any autopilot, which is to be expected. While the first few versions of this aircraft had some issues with the sound and the flight model, most of these issues have now been fixed. The plane is reliable in terms of handling and really does live up to its name. The 4K quality texturing does the aircraft the justice it deserves, with sharp clarity, even in the densely written caution markings prominently featured below the instructor's seating position. The MB339's cockpit can be quite cramped, offering a mix between the simplicity of a turboprop and the complexity of a commuter jet. But that's what makes it fun. It sounds complicated, but it actually increases that feeling of authenticity that I want to pursue. If you are looking for a military jet to fly, this add-on could be for you. While it's no F-16, the MB339 is a very polished aircraft and feels great to fly. If you're expecting an autopilot and a fancy heads-up display like the 787, however, you might want to stick to the 787 or go for one of the other jets like the F-15 by DC Designs. I have spent hours flying in this aircraft as part of my around the world tour, and it's really fun to fly in multiplayer with, as you can easily see your friends flying with you in formation. It's a pleasure to look at this aircraft and a pleasure to fly, and it feels like a native add-on and flies true. It's available from Orbix, priced at €21 or $24. And next we have the Top Rudder 103 Solo by Asobo. This is a tiny aircraft with a small engine, an exposed airframe, and almost nothing separating you with the virtual world. This is an absolutely brilliant aircraft for those who prefer to fly in VR, and the first ultralight model created by the Asobo team. Intended to be used in backcountry flying, these ultralight aircraft include a Poloni Thor 250 liquid-cooled engine with 36.5 horsepower. It's not much, but for an aircraft that weighs around 135 kilos, it's all that's needed to get this aircraft airborne. This aircraft is simple to learn. Aside from a few checks such as holding the brakes and keeping the stick pulled back, all you really need to do is flip the starter switch and the engine putters to life. Just make sure it doesn't veer off without you being ready when you start the engine. I found the ground handling the only thing that could possibly be slightly better, but apart from that, this is the best ultralight available in my opinion. It's worth noting that any pronounced headwind will allow that aircraft to almost float up off its wheels, so taking off is really a breeze. The Top Rudder 103 Solo is not a fast airplane at all, nor is it meant to be. At various points I looked at the speed indicator, and it said I was doing around 55 to 65 miles per hour. It might go a bit faster than that if you dive, but it's not an aircraft that's going to cover a lot of territory quickly. You need to be careful with stalls and spins, however, and it can be quite a challenge to increase altitude or bank quickly without losing control. You'll feel considerable turbulence around mountains and over cities. It really shows off the wind modelling of the sim to great effect. This is a great aircraft for touring different cities, but just be careful with strong gusts of wind and changes in pressure when flying between buildings. It's so great to fly this in VR since you get such good views of your surroundings. And I actually have suffered from a bit of vertigo, it's so immersive. The engine does sound like a lawnmower, but I'm sure that's accurate. To be clear, Asobo's sound work here is at their usual excellent level, but this aircraft does not have a beautiful engine sound. The top Rudder 103 Solo is available on the in-game marketplace for €9 or $10 US. And last but not least on the list is the Kodiak 100 Series 2, which is a high-wing, single-engine turboprop aircraft capable of transporting up to 9 passengers or cargo up to a distance of about 1,100 nautical miles. Equipped with the Pratt & Whitney Canada PTA 6A34 engine flat rated at 750 shaft horsepower, the aircraft is capable of taking off and landing less than 350 feet, enabling it to operate from small, unprepared airstrips all over the world, which means this plane can go just about anywhere. When taxiing around, the wheels do feel firmly on the ground, and there isn't any loss in traction like some other aircraft. And when you do engage the rudder pedals, it turns on a dime. In terms of flight, the plane behaves similarly to a cross between a Cirrus and a Caravan. It has a ton of aileron authority, especially at low speed, and when you add power, you'll need a lot of right rudder throughout the takeoff, roll and climb. I actually trimmed the rudder during the climb, and it seemed to maintain coordination as long as the power was static. Putting out flaps was very satisfying, because you need to apply forward pressure on the yoke to prevent it from pitching up. It didn't feel overdone, and does feel extremely accurate. Sounds in this model are excellent and were recorded using the real aircraft. From engines to flaps being retracted, as well as the stall warnings, they're all modelled really well. The Kodiak comes in 4 different wheeled variants, featuring 40 different liveries, authentic flight dynamics, and higher quality systems modelling. There are also cargo pod and non-cargo pod builds for you to choose from. The modelling of both the interior and exterior are pretty much flawless and show off highly detailed textures, which just adds to the value of the product. The avionics are animated well and respond reliably even when using VR. Speaking of VR, this is an exceptional plane which offers great immersion and visibility. Again, when I'm flying over South America, I have been using the Kodiak, and it can handle pretty much anything that's thrown at it, and I've managed to touch down safely in even the most demanding airstrips. This is a highly recommended aircraft, and I'm thoroughly pleased with the purchase. The Kodiak is available from Orbix and is priced at €35 or $40 US. And that's my top 5 aircraft list. And I do hope you found this list useful. And do let us know some of your favourite planes in the comments, and it might make for some good discussion. And do check out my video about the new Seasons Pack update by Bijan. And also do let me know if you'd like to see more aircraft reviews on the channel, as this is something I've not done much of before. As always, I hope you find this content useful, and I look forward to making the next video soon. In the meantime guys, as always, take care and stay safe.